Jenny, good morning. Thanks for joining us. What do we know?
So, as you said, people familiar with the situation and the planning in China are saying now that China is sort of mirroring what the US did earlier this month, which is removing certain items from these huge tariffs that have ramped up on both sides. This was sort of mirror what happened during the first trade war, when China also had exemptions for items sort of as soybeans. This time around, it's for medical equipment, chemicals that are important for plastics, and we're even hearing potentially for some chips. I think so far we've seen in this trade war, China has really gone toe-to-toe with the US and everything that they've done, but they haven't ever exceeded US action. So even though they're doing this quietly, it would make sense because it would bring China back in line with where Trump is at after he rolled out some exemptions for electronic products earlier this month.
Yeah, that's the context, isn't it? So you've had some exemptions, some adjustments from the US, now some adjustments from China. The mood music as well, certainly being pushed in Washington, is one of a slightly more constructive stance, even though China says, look, you need to drop all tariffs before we properly engage. Talk us through the market reaction, Jenny, to this news.
Markets reacted very, very positively to it. I think, people are just clinging for any sign that we're going to be inching towards a deal. Other countries around the world are sort of rushing towards trying to strike the first deal with Trump, whereas, the Chinese and the US at the moment can't even seem to agree whether they're even having talks. Trump keeps saying that talks are happening. The Chinese said categorically yesterday that no, they're not. So I think even something as small as sort of a few exemptions for a few products, I think to markets does show that perhaps there is some progress now towards sort of a de-escalation, even if it's just the beginning.